There we go. Hello, sorry that took a little long. Hang on. Ugh, I'm here. So is Joelbot. Doesn't really matter which side we work on first. So let's do the far side first, I guess. I have no idea how the sound is, so can you hear? Okay. There's a charger over there that Mom puts my phone on so it doesn't die. Hey, Bebop! Or Bebop. Bebop cosplayer. I can English, I think. Bop is fine. I'm doing great. How are you? I'm excited to finally do something on this again. Happy Friday. And incidentally, it is my oldest son's birthday, not counting the stepson, because the stepson's 24. But anyway, my son's son. So every few years, his birthday falls on a Friday, and therefore it's Friday the 13th. Oop, I gotta adjust my camera. There we go. Hi. Oh, here he comes. Harold, it's your birthday. Say hi to everybody over here. Over here.
Hi.
Okay, you can go back to what you were doing. So she's being a cat? Why am I not surprised? There we go. All right. So the first step is tracing out the part, and sometimes it's easier said than done because sometimes the it comes through the paper better than others. So I always check it as soon as I get it cut out. I suppose, like, I don't know if anybody really wants to see me cutting out a traced piece of paper. Assuming this fits, it then becomes a template. If it doesn't fit, we either redraw it or trim it, depending on which way we need to go. So let's.
Bebop says, at first I thought someone was yelling Carol. I was like, why is everyone mad at Carol?
Harold. All right, so that actually fit pretty good. Hopefully you saw that. Oh, if I put the camera down, you might be able to see it. So, watch. See? That's about as good as it's gonna get.
This is awesome. I've never seen anyone do this on Twitch before.
There's not very many of us. There's only like 3 or 4 of us that do stained glass. One of them, I know there's more than the one I watch, but he's the only one I've had time to watch or find, and his name is Ichabod Glass. And if you watch him, you will see that he does things a little differently than I do. But the thing is, with stained glass, once you know the basics, there is no right or wrong way. It's just kind of whatever technique you learned and what you're comfortable with. Kind of like a lot of crafts, there's more than one way to skin the proverbial cat, if you will, as I knock things on the floor.
Cool username, Ichabod Glass.
Yeah,
Bigger me? What?
he does smaller things. But he's really good. And he also he uses the 6040 lead tin solder. I use the lead free solder. The reason I use lead free solder is look at that shine. And I haven't even cleaned this yet. Look how shiny that is. It's almost a polished silver look. And that's because the lead free solder is actually zinc.
Um,
When you
Blue
go
Eyes.
to patina it, it has its own patina. They have patina for leaded solder and patina for zinc, and zinc is the lead free.
Blue Eye says, "Hi, what are you making?" And then Bebop is like, "Yeah, that's what I said about cosplay. There's no wrong way about doing it."
Yep. And if you guys have questions, feel free to ask. Um, right now, this is going to be a 12-inch by 12-inch stained glass window for Joel Telling, the 3D printing nerd. Now, I don't know if anyone in here does 3D printing, but if you do and you don't know Joel, you should, because he's one of the godfathers. Uh, him, Tom from Germany, Angus, Maker's Muse. They're all YouTubers. Barnacules even did some 3D printing for a long time. If you've ever heard of Barnacules, um, but this is for Joel. He's a really, really cool, supportive guy. Um,
Bebop says, "This is looking awesome."
one of the things he does every year is if you send him $1 and a self-addressed stamped envelope, he will send you a sticker. But what he does with that money is at the end of the year, whatever money he's collected for stickers, plus people tend to give him additional money because of what he does with it, he gives it to this Seattle Children's Hospital. They have a special uh, fundraiser every year. One of the radio stations there, Rick and Molly. I forget what the. I don't live in Seattle, but anyway, when they have that special fundraiser, whatever he's got in his fundraiser box goes to the Seattle Children's Hospital. So go to his channel, uh, the 3D Printing Nerd on YouTube, and if you send him $1 in a self-addressed stamped envelope, he will send you a sticker, and all his information is. What are you doing?
I was waving.
Why?
Because Bebop says I hear someone in the background reading the chat and saying
Yes,
stuff.
that's my stepson. I need to mod him anyway because I think he's not modded yet.
No, because I just use mom's account.
Yeah, I know, but I really should give it to you anyway. So, where's this? Mod.
Did you just wave yes?
Uh, missed. Missed.
Yay.
There. Now you have a sword. Don't abuse it. You're my you use mom's account half the time when she's not here anyways.
I know.
I was being funny.
It's like, what if I cheat?
Yeah, he waved. He put his hand under the camera. Now this is me, but yeah, he was coming from this direction, but obviously his hand was the other way because he's coming from the couch. So if anybody's wondering why there's a tape measure and some Allen wrenches here, they're basically paperweights, but I'm also doing 3D printing stuff over here, and I do need the tape measure sometimes. There's the grinder. There's me. There's a corner full of boxes that are full of DVDs for that rack, which is half full. We'll probably need another one. We have a extensive DVD collection.
Oh, we figured out how we're gonna do it. So
Yeah. Did mom ever work with you to fix the back?
no, me and you are gonna take it apart when she empties it out, and we're gonna go take it outside and glue it.
Okay. Yeah, that was basically what I suggested to her the other day, so that's cool. When we put the that's a new DVD rack. When we put that together, apparently we didn't nail the
Oh, I remember.
back of it
I'm
very
a
good.
handyman.
I know, but I'm still saying we because we both worked on it. I wasn't gonna let you take all the blame, even though you are the one who used the hammer and nails, because I couldn't bend over because of my back at that point. Um, but anyway, we got to take it outside and fix the back because the back's coming off of it. So take some glue stick, which is also used heavily in 3D printing, incidentally.
Nolan Create does 3D printing too. He is building a giant one for the
Oh
3D
yeah,
printing.
yeah, I follow Nolan Create. I mean, there's a ton of them. It's just Joel Telling's one of the big ones. Yeah, Nolan Create does some good stuff. I mean, there's 3D Maker Noob. There's hell, 3D Reefer does some 3D printed stuff.
Show them your partially giant one.
Yeah, I will in a minute if I can get this thing on here. There, there, got it. All right. So we'll let that sit there just for a second, just to let it dry on there. Um, so I was printing a big model, but it failed. So I have a leg lamp. That was supposed to be a Kenku Monks for anybody who does D&D. That's a model of a Kenku Monk, but the reason it failed wasn't really the printer's fault. The filament was really, really bad, and I didn't have the settings set right. Oh, that's cool.
Hey, come and finish this. Come and finish this.
Yeah, I mean, the 3D printing community is huge, so, it's one of those things. I can't name them all. It's just Joel's one of the big ones. One of the big three, because well, big four, because I consider the big four to be Joel Telling, uh, Tom's 3D, Tom from Germany, um, well, Make Anything, Devin Montez, um, I'm missing one. Oh, and Maker's Muse. Those are the big four. And then if you want to do the big five, you can add 3D Maker Noob. And he lives in Malta. He's a really cool, nice guy as well. I mean, the 3D printing community is kind of like the creative community. Everybody pretty much is super supportive and helps each other and shares stuff. If you need help, all you got to do is like just tweet it out there and somebody will get to you. Um, so that will be going there. We just have to take it to the grinder. And I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. I guess not. Got my safety glasses. Oh, also let me know if Moobot gets too annoying because I set him up with um, new timers. Oh, also, if mom's not here by then, I have new raid commands. So I don't have to manually type it in anymore.
Okay.
Ew, these are dirty. I can't see. All right, I'm going to move the camera, so try not to get seasick as it's caught around everything. Our dryer finally got hooked up. They had to rewire the plug-in. So you'll notice my work area is the dryer. And that looks pretty good.
Watch a horror movie in here.
Sorry. Oh, I need water. I forgot water. Can you get me a couple of uh, things of water? I knew I was forgetting something. My grinder is empty. There is no water. That's one of the really bad things about El Paso is it's so dry, everything just goes poof. Although it's really good for 3D printing because the filament tends to stay pretty dry. Yeah, I might need both of those. We'll see. We'll just wet it from the sponge down. That should be good enough. I've got another one if I need it on backup. So I don't know how loud this is going to be, but just beware if you're wearing headphones. Oh. Oh, that's right. Okay.
Oh,
All right, so that's what it looks like now. I'm going to do a test fit before I move the camera. That's pretty darn good.
Keep up the good practice.
I've had people tell me it's not too bad, but I still have that in there just in case. Now I'll show you what the rest of this water is for. Actually, let's go ahead and put that in here. Didn't know there was a partial one over here already. Yeah. Can I not step on the cord? That would be great. There we go. All right. So, got a little bowl of water. What we do is take the little piece and let it have a swim. What that does, especially on bigger pieces where it matters a little more, where the paper doesn't get soaked all the way through, is it dissolves the glue stick and move my trash can over here where I don't have to hide halfway under the table, and lets me take the paper off, and I just rub it till it's squeaky clean. The other thing that it does is uh, residue builds up, glass dust basically from the grinding process. So you have to make sure that gets all washed off so that the foil will stick to the glass. As I've got paper everywhere. All right, so there's the piece. I'll let you see it one more time. See? It's a pretty tight fit, which is good. That's what we want. So over here, I've got some foil. I'm just going to measure some out. And how I measure is basically using the piece itself, wrap it around, making sure to overlap, and leaving just a little bit of a tail so that we wrap it around itself. Then I use a wooden fid. If you watch Ichabod Glass, you'll see he's got one of the plastic ones. I like the wooden ones better because they're nice and round and they fit in your palm. When I was in high school, we actually would take our pencils and use the end of the pencil because if you notice, it's the same shape. So we peel just a little bit back, and so this paper backing comes off, and that's the sticky side. And we just get it started a little bit, and keeping the glass centered is the name of the game as I work here. Just go all the way around. Now this small piece is really easy to keep centered. It only gets complicated with really large pieces where you've got large runs and it's hard to see what your tape is doing. Um, since it's really thin copper foil, um, it bends and stretches just the same way that aluminum foil, when you cover a dish in the kitchen, will bend and stretch. So if you're not careful, you can get off to one side really easy. Okay, so then what I do is I just, using the FID, I just put some pressure on it and basically push down, trying to push the copper foil into the glass as much as possible so that we can have really good adhesion with the adhesive that's on there. And then we come in from the edges and smooth out all the way around. Same thing with the other side. All right, so there's our piece, front and back. Come on, work with me here. My stand doesn't want to move. And there we have a shoulder. Come on. There we go. The paper did not want to go under the glass there. All right, so I can kind of see it through the paper.
This is an interesting process. How did you get into glasswork?
It was actually a class in my high school. It's the only art I've ever been good at. I can't draw to save my life. Like, even my stick figures look like I'm in kindergarten. Um, and when I was in middle school, I took pottery and all that stuff that's in general art class and calligraphy. And I wasn't good at any of it. Pottery was the thing I was kind of sort of okay at. I made a chili bowl. It still looked like garbage. But one of the teachers, and I went to an alternative high school, but one of the teachers actually was into stained glass, and um, the second year I was there, I think it was the second year I was there, he started up a stained glass class as an art class you could take. And I was all for it because I wasn't good at any other art class, and it's one of those things you had to have so many credits in it. I ended up taking two or three, maybe even, yeah, three, one, two, three semesters of it.
Bebop says, "Ooh, chili bowl. Did you eat chili out of it? Now I want chili."
No, I never did eat anything out of it, but is one of those things. Rub off the camera. The lens is dirty. There. Now it's not so fuzzy. Amazing how that works. That's not perfect, but you know what? It's close enough. You see that I missed just a hair of the drawing on the bottom, but it's close enough. I can always fix that. So that is actually, the shaded areas are actually going to be this color instead of this color. So let me put them side by side so you can see. This is what we're using for the shaded areas, and this is the rest of the Joelbot, the iridized blue. This is almost, it's not quite a teal, maybe aqua, I guess. See if this piece that I grabbed is wide enough. Oh, close but no cigar. How about this piece is... Yes, this piece will work. Barely, but it works. So let me get some glue stick on here. Yep. Come on, camera. Work with me. Come on. I think you can see it well enough to see that it fits. Anyway. So this piece, I actually get to use my cutter. I prefer, I'll back off so you can see. This is kind of, I call this a pencil style cutter because you can kind of hold it like a pencil. This is the cutter I prefer, although 3D Reefer and Ichabod have another cutter that I want to try. I forget what it's called, but it basically has a little U-shaped saddle, and you stick it on your finger, and then it's just a short stick from that little U-shaped saddle. But the third kind of cutter that I know about is like a pistol grip, and I don't like those. Some people do. I do not. They do not work for me. If they work for you, more power to you. Uh, that's why some people use them and some people don't. So I generally use these pliers. These are ring star pliers, and it's got a little rubber grommet in here that's got a circle shape and a little peg on the bottom. And what that allows me to do on pieces where I need a curve, it allows me to break out a curve.
Looks like a magical robot pen.
Yeah, but actually this curve right there, this curve was done by using a combination of scoring the glass with the cutter first and then using the ring star pliers. So this is for curved pieces. I do have another one when that one's too big. These are called Grozier pliers or Grossier pliers. I'm not sure which pronunciation is correct. Um, but you grab it right at the edge of the score and you break. So, if my glass was here, I'd clomp it here and then pop. That works really good for nipping away really, really thin things like this from something you're trying to cut out. Because the name of the game is to get as close as possible so there's as little grinding to do as you can get away with. That's as close as we're going to get. Off to the grinder. All right. You ready, Danny? It's really wet. Alrighty. So, what happens with these smaller pieces sometimes, I don't know how well you can see. Let me get where there's a little more light. Is that a little better? Yeah, only sort of. The camera shadow is in the way. So what happens is the template gets waterlogged. And if you'll give me just a second, I've got a... Ah, as the camera falls off. Sorry. I knew that would happen as soon as I turned my back, too. Stop that. Sheesh. Get over here. There. Let me plug in my handy dandy heat gun. Will do. Thanks for dropping by. Anyway, I pull out the handy dandy heat gun, and we dry the paper, and then we got to reglue it, and we can grind down the other side. So that's how I fix a waterlogged template. Oh, usually that makes the glue de-adhere. Oh, there it goes. Just about to say, I couldn't get it off. More glue stick. All right, there we go. Got it back on. Oh, the grinder's still running. I'm just gonna go back to what we were doing. All right, I'm gonna go see how that fits. Pretty darn good. There we go. So there it is. Hang on 1 second. Hang on, I'm just fixing something. That's why that didn't work. See if you have the sword now. I forgot the 12 off your name earlier, so it didn't work.
Yep, I got sword now.
Yeah. Come on. Stop. Right. Right there. Ugh. Ugh. All right. That was hard. One-handed and with my arm stretched all the way out. So there's our piece. Gonna grab some foil just like before. I know that's right at the edge of the screen, but my computer's back there too.